I'm back.
Every time I walk out that door, every time I interact with anybody new, my purpose is to help change.
It's time to celebrate life. If you know that you're in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know you want better for your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you have what it takes to be in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you are not just trying to be good for you, but for those around you, it's time to stand up. As a matter of fact, look to the person to your left and tell them you are enough.
I want to help you change, and just like you change, every time I interact with somebody, they help me change. It's no different than if I met an individual and they had 4 quarters and they needed change, or if I had $1 and they had 4 quarters, I need to change. We can swap the money. The value is still the same. They still got $1, I still got $1, but we both exchanged something, and it was a change for both of us. So every time I walk out that door, I inspire to help change lives just as much as lives have changed me.
Y'all been listening to the wrong people, watching the wrong things all your life, and it's time to put to rest all those negative thoughts, because you are enough. It's time to put to rest that self-doubt, because you are enough. It is time to get rid of that negative energy, because you are enough. It is time to stop listening to people that don't have the best interests of you in your life, because you are enough. So let's have a moment of silence. I want everybody to understand that you are the person that's in charge of your life. Everything that you have inside of you to be who you're supposed to be in life. You have a destiny, and that destiny can only be accomplished through you, by you, and only you, with the help of God. When you realize that you are the person you are, because you're not a carbon copy, there's only one you. They try to put you in a box. Society tries to put you in a box, but you can't be in a box. How can you be in a box when there's only one you? But then they tell you, think outside the box. What I'm trying to get you to understand is there is no box.
I want to pass on the things that I have to the generations behind me. By the time it's time for me to get called home and go to the grave, I want to be empty. I believe in bankrupting the cemetery, so I can't take this knowledge with me, because the cemetery is already full of brilliant ideas and unwritten books and innovative ideas. I can't take this with me, so I'm trying to leave it all here as Billy Graham Jr. to the next generation so somebody else can carry it on. What's going on, family? What is going on, man? We're back. And I must say, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And I hope y'all are in the giving spirit, because the woman that we have coming on today, she's finna give us some knowledge, and not just regular knowledge. If you're out there looking for that last minute Christmas idea, don't know what to do, this individual is going to drop a little bit of tidbits that might help you give that lovely person in your life, whether it be your friend, your spouse, your kids, whoever that may be. Going to drop a little sneak tip or something that you might be able to do, because, hey, we're about to enter into 2023, and 2022 was rough on a lot of us, and sometimes to get ahead, you need a little self-care. And this individual knows all about one of the many phases of self-care. So I'm not going to hold you up, because I want you to hear the amazing information, not only that she's going to bring, but little tricks and tidbits to help you put in that stocking stuffer. So without holding you any longer, I bring you the one, the only, Angela Frazier.
Thank you, Billy, for having me on today. I really do appreciate it.
Man, I've been waiting to talk to you, because when I found out you were coming on, and I was like, well, what does she do? Because, we all about bringing amazing people on. And I was like, I got to know. And when I found out what it was, I was like, oh, yeah, I got all kinds of questions. Not just myself. It's many a men in the manosphere, as they say, that has questions about this. So I want to know, before we even get started, can you tell the world, who is Angela Frazier?
Me, I am a 36-year-old mom to two. I am married. I've been married for almost 10 years to my lovely spouse. Um, I am an entrepreneur. I am a new business owner. I am a lot of things wrapped into one. So I'm multifaceted, I'm just about business. That's just me.
Hey, I'm not mad at it about the business, but I got to jump straight in because if everybody ain't seen what Miss Angela over there doing, them fingers is popping.
Oh
So
yeah.
I got to know. You gotta tell us, what do you do, Miss Entrepreneur?
I am a manicurist here in the state of Texas. Um, More so known as a nail tech, what everybody typically calls us. So I am the person that you will come to for your manicure, your pedicure, your set of acrylic nails, anything, to enhance your hands and your feet. I take care of you. That's what I do.
But so tell us, when did you get into this and what got you into this?
So long story short, about 2 years ago, we were stationed in Nebraska. I know, weird. Sucks. Sucks. Would not recommend. Oh my God. Anyway, so I was stationed in Nebraska where my husband was, and I had ended up going to cosmetology school. I I kind of didn't want to do hair. I still don't like doing hair. And I kind of got pushed into it. And I was like, oh man, I just got into it. Then the nail course came around. I was like, oh, this is fun. So we had the course for a couple of days, and I took it upon myself to learn more about it. So through YouTube University, Instagram, I learned a lot of stuff. I started buying product. I started practicing. My first set looked like garbage. Yes, it was. I, I could never, I could never do it. And then I just buckled down and I kept practicing. Fast forward to now, I came here to Texas, and it was a fight trying to get to school. It took me so long to get accepted into a school because it was just a number of factors. I guess it wasn't my time, and then
Okay.
put it and made it my time. I enrolled in nail tech school. I was supposed to be done this coming January, but I buckled down. I took myself to school, and I graduated in October, and I became licensed in November. So,
Okay.
and I've been doing nails for, I would say, a good 2 years, but newly licensed, official, doing
Official.
nails, uh, about a month ago. But that's how they pretty much started my nail journey. It started from supposed to being a cosmetologist, doing hair, got wrapped up in nails, and now I'm here doing nails.
Now I gotta ask because I know it's happened to me. It's happened to many people. Somebody might be going through it right now. You said you were kind of pushed into cosmetology, and throughout life, like the people, our loved ones, or the circumstances of life push us in directions that we typically don't want to go. Can you elaborate on like what was that defining? What was pushing you to cosmetology, even though you said I don't want to do hair?
Um, what was really pushing me? I originally went to the school to sign up for aesthetics. So aesthetics is, just doing facials and everything. Kind of, I'm a lax, laid back person, so I want to give that same lax, laid back experience to everybody else. And I was like, aesthetics will be great for me. Then I got to talking to the person that owned the school, the owner and everything. And she was like, you seem like you're so talented. I think cosmetology will be better for you. I think you would thrive better. And I was really resistant to it. And I was like, you know what? I just want to get out there and do something in the beauty world and just make people feel good. So that's how I ended up getting into cosmetology. But I say that to say, I don't think I would have discovered the love for nails if she hadn't pushed me to join the cosmetology program.
Why do you say that?
Because that's how I ended up discovering that I like nails. just from
Like
school to, those
what?
little, I figured out, I was like, hey man, I like nails better. And then, I was done with cosmetology after that. After I figured out I like nails, no more hair.
So does cosmetology, like, does it, when you go there, does it encompass everything, or is it one? What were you doing that made you say, I'm doing hair, but it's like I like this side better? Like what is that middle thing like that you were going through?
So, like you said, it has everything in it. So cosmetologists can do manicures. A cosmetologist can do pedicures. A cosmetologist can do facials. But everything is like surface level. It won't be like to the extent of how I do acrylic, nail enhancements or things of that sort. Or it wouldn't be to the extent that an esthetician does like a microderm abrasion treatment on a face. So cosmetologists, they touch a little bit of everything in the beauty world, but it's just really, really surface level.
Okay, so I want to make sure I got this right. So you go to cosmetology school, they teach you a little bit of everything, and
Yes,
then at once that's complete, you branch off into what you want to do.
exactly. So you kind of pick what you want because, like I said, they can do. I didn't say they could do lashes yet, but they can do lashes and stuff. And it also kind of depends on like your state as well, because we're all regulated by different entities. So one state may can do lashes as a cosmetologist, and one state may be like, no, she can't do no lashes, or this, that, and the third. But yeah, you pretty much pick what you want to do. But most cosmetologists, if they are going for cosmetology, they're going to do hair. That's that's going to be their bread and butter. They're going to do their hair.
I'm glad I asked that question because I really thought that's what it was until you go to cosmetology. The first thing you think is hair. And
Right.
I'm asking these questions because we tell people all the time, growing up, like, you got to go to college, you got to go to college. And we're like, well, college isn't for everybody because that might not line up with who they are. That doesn't mean they're not going to be a good person and only college people are great people. Some people want trades and skills. And cosmetology sounds like it's sort of like a college. Like you go for one thing, you go to college, you get the foundation, and then you branch off into what you want to do. And cosmetology, which I thought was just hair, which I learned something new today, is just that base, and then you are able to branch off into what you want to do. Now I have to ask,
Yes.
what was that moment, or what were you doing when you were like, it's nails? Because you obviously went because you're laid back, you want to help somebody else give back, make that beautify. Because when you feel good and look good, you do good. And so what
Exactly.
was it that said it's nails?
It was just when I took those 2 days and I touched the nail product and everything, and I got to reading about it, how the chemical reaction happens, and I don't know, it's just something turned on in my brain. It was like, this is what I want to do because it just looks so amazing. And we watched this video of this nail tech. She's an OG in the game. Her name is Tammy Taylor, and she owns her own company as well. She doesn't do nails anymore. She mainly does for educational purposes. And I watched her lay acrylic, and it was the equivalent of watching somebody spread butter on bread. And I'm like, I want to do that. Say something from nothing. Like it's powder and liquid. Took together, makes a chemical reaction, and she laid it. And it was seamless. Meanwhile, I'm in class and it ain't laying like that. But it lay like it's second nature. I was like, I'm gonna master that.
I was just about to ask you that, and you said it right there when you said I'm gonna master that, because I want people to understand. I don't want to miss this because we see people do stuff
Right.
and we're like amazed, like wow, because people don't realize, like, when you're operating in your purpose, what you're supposed to be doing, which is, it's many ways to do it. Like yours is helping people feel good, look good, and not understand that it could be any kind of thing. Like you could have been doing hair, you could have been doing eyelashes. Yours was nails. That's what made people feel good. But you said master that craft. And I want people to not miss that point, because when you're doing what you're supposed to do, you have to find ways to master that, even if it is through YouTube University. So when you're sitting there and you're watching her, as you say, spread it like butter. Tell
Yeah.
us throughout that process when it's like this isn't working for me and I have to master it, because it's that thing of saying like when you got 10,000 hours of master practicing something, you become the master at it. Like how long does it take for you to like get to that from I don't know what I'm doing to now I'm finally starting to get it and now I can get better at it? What was that process like?
Oh man, it was a lot of trial and error with that process. It took a lot of buckling down to see what I do, what was a technique, because laying acrylic is all about technique. You have to find what works for you in order to lay the acrylic properly. You can go in willy nilly and lay it, and it probably is going to look like crap. If, if you do not have a good technique and a good brush, it's not going to work. It's just like for instance, how do I want to say this? Um, Expecting to get a high price purse, a Louis Vuitton out of Dollar Tree.
Yep.
You're not going to get that from there now. It ain't.
I, I'm sorry, that was funny because of the fact of I like the part about the technique, and many people don't realize like the reason they're struggling is because they're trying to utilize somebody else's technique and it's not working for them. Now, don't get me wrong. We all have this thing inside of us called imposter syndrome. Like we don't want to necessarily do it the exact same way, but I want people to understand the same way Angela said when she went out and she watched the video. When you're starting off, it might feel like imposter syndrome, but you have to start somewhere and find out what your technique is during the process. And that fear of not being imposter syndrome is holding so many people back that they're not doing what they're supposed to do. So you saw that, you realize I have to get that right brush because it doesn't work if you don't have your right brush. You have to have your brush. That technique, how long did it take you before you finally, because obviously you passed, you're certified, but how long really? Tell us the truth. Don't sugarcoat it. How many long nights and days was you sitting there frustrated? Things wasn't working. You wanted to just throw your hands up and I'm quit. How long did that technique take you to actually get?
Probably about a good 3 months. 3 months of playing with different techniques, studying different nail techs. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try the 3 bead method. I'm gonna try the 1 bead method. I hate 1 bead method unless I'm doing a super short set of nails. I know you probably like, what the heck is that? I'll have to explain that more. But that technique, I say it took me a good 3 months to get it down packed. And I'll say this about technique: it changes and you grow because we're always, as nail techs, we're always looking for a faster technique because, as you know, time is money.
Yep.
So if I can find a way to take at least 10 minutes off of my technique, I'm looking for it. I'm studying the OGs in the nail game to see what little tips and tricks they may have that I can take off time with that technique.
Wow, 3 months. It makes me question because I wish people would sit there and like think about it. Like, when was the last time somebody actually dedicated 3 months? We try to get people to stick to something for 1 week, 1 day. They say 21 days makes it set in, and you do it. I've done all of it 21 days, and on day 22, I throw my hands up. I'm done. But 3 months of dedication of, because we talked about it, college, like you have to understand, like you can have a gift, you might be able to do whatever and make people look at you in amazement, but you still have to study and perfect that craft, as you just said, by learning from the OGs or watching YouTube University or practicing until you get it, and trying to save that time off. Because like you said, you want to save that time off. It's like running track. Like a person goes out there, we can all go out there and run, but that don't mean we're gonna be the fastest. So we look for those ticks, those trips and techniques to make us faster, and it requires practice. You did that for 3 months. Now, fast forward, you done that 3 months, you got your technique down. We certified now. Once you get certified, and this is for somebody out there that's wondering, like, okay, I got certified, I got this. What's my next step?
Your next step, keep practicing, bettering yourself. Just because you get certified, you graduate, you license, you top of the game, whatever. Keep practicing. Just because you don't have clients or something to do that day, pick your brush up and practice. It's some days I'm just laying around. I'm like, man, I'm bored. Then I have epiphany. I'm like, man, I'm about to lay some acrylic. I have my practice hands for me. I got two different sets of nails. I'm always experimenting on my oh God, and that's the life of a nail tech. We usually don't ever match. So I was like, all right, you got a red set over here, you got a blue set because I did a Christmas set. I did a Christmas demo. That's literally all I've been putting on my clients' nails is Christmas stuff. So I demoed my own nails, and I haven't got to, taking off this set yet. Maybe it'll come in a couple or whatever. But you have to practice, because it's just like I say, it's just like riding a bike. But if you don't do it in a while, you can forget how to. You have to practice. You have to stay on top of the game.
It's I love how you keep using the word practice, because everybody that knows me knows I love basketball. I love sports in general. And when you say that, all I keep hearing is Allen Iverson in my head to my practice. And I won't. The reason I say that because everybody knows that watches basketball and in sports, not trying to turn this into sports, but Allen Iverson was one of the greatest.
Right.
And one thing that eluded him is he had the accolades, had the MVPs, but he didn't get that championship. And that practice part was not necessarily for him, but it was for his teammates. They needed to practice with him. So it goes hand in hand. And it goes the same way. It crosses over to your career field where you have to practice, because it's not about you. It's about your clients. They need that practice that you're doing. And I tell people all the time when they ask me, they like, hey, how do you talk about this? Or how do you remember this? Or why does your mind work like this? And I'm like, because I practiced it on myself. Like some of the life skills, and because they call life coaches, everybody's a life coach now, but I'm like, some of the life skills and leadership that you do in your life, like your life happened through you, so you practice on yourself. And I loved how you showed that both hands was like you were practicing, you're study practicing, even when you don't have clients. How do you find that motivation? Because this is the part where it hangs people up, because we can go get degrees, we can go get certifications, we can learn these new skill sets, build our own gifts, and then all of a sudden we sit back and get comfortable like we're at the finish line. How do you find that motivation to say, I have to keep going because my time is coming? Because you got to be ready. When the time comes, you have to be ready to produce. But if you haven't practiced and refined your techniques, when the time comes, you're going to drop the ball, fumble the bag. Like, how do you find that motivation to keep going?
The way I go, my kids are my motivation, because I owe it to them to build something, build a legacy. I'm not just doing nails to be doing nails for fun. This is not a hobby. This is about to be my career. I worked too hard and fought too hard to get to where I am today. And this other step, becoming a business owner, has always been a dream of mine. I have had so many goals wrote out, and that's always been one of my goals, to become a business owner, because we need more Black business owners in the world, obviously. But that was always my goal: be a business owner, climb up the ladder, build generational wealth. But my kids are my motivation to keep going. And like I said, this is not anything for play. This is my life. This is my livelihood. That's what motivates me to keep going, because this is going to be something way bigger than just some little, you know, hobby lobby craft.
Well, I love that, because the simple fact that legacy that you're building, that legacy that you're leaving, like part of that, to be able to do that, and that motivation is finding your why. And I tell people all the time, if you don't find out, that's the first thing you got to do is what is your why? What is going to make you keep going? Because if you don't have that why, you're going to always be looking for that outside motivation versus that inspiration that's inside to keep you pushing. And you say you're doing this to leave that legacy.
Yes.
When you say you're doing it to leave a legacy because you fought so hard, and I tell people this all the time, when you're sitting around and we're procrastinating, it's people that depend on you, people that are working for you or push for you to get to where you are. It becomes disrespectful for that to them if you don't do what you're supposed to do. It becomes disrespectful for God if you don't do what you're supposed to do, because he got you designed to do certain things. And when you don't do it, it's disrespectful to him. But I'm not even going to go down that road. We ain't going to get to preaching. But you have to know your why, and you have to know why you're doing it, because in our minds, we're quick to say, I have to build this legacy. But nobody ever turns back around and says, what did the people that were before me, my parents, my grandparents, those aunts, uncles, friends, loved ones, what were they doing when they were saying to themselves, I'm building this legacy, and then it comes to us and we're like, I don't feel like doing it. They built the legacy for us to be here. Now you're sitting here building a legacy for your kids to pass on that baton, and now the business owner. Let's tap into that. How does that work now that you certified?
All right.
And you practicing?
Mm-hmm.
What's that step for saying it's time to get this business going?
I woke up one day and I was like, you know what? It's time. And then talking to my former, it's also like my mentor. And she was like, it's time for you just to be out on your own, shine. She was like, you need to start looking for a suite. And I was like, okay. Because I had been a bit scared, even though I knew in my heart of hearts, this is what I want to do. I want to own this business. I was like, I'm going to give myself 6 months to a year out of being out of school. And she was like, no. She was like, get up, start looking. She was like, you got this. She was like, I guarantee you get in there, you get a suite, they're going to come. And I was like, all right. Talked over with my husband. He was like, I think you should go for it. He was like, you done did all this. You came this way. He's like, do it. Do it. He's like, tell me the price. Tell me what the down payment gonna be. And we're gonna do it. So I went around, I suite hopped. One suite was like, I'm like, that's a second rent. Okay, that's he's like, no ma'am. I was like, okay. He's like, but if you really want it, we'll do it. I was like, I don't wanna put any more on him than he has. So my mentor, she was like, I'm gonna help you find something better. She tried to get me over in her suite. It didn't work. But she found something directly across from her. Perfect rent amount. The lady was like, I even cut down some of your rent. Bigger space than what I had originally wanted. And other suite for way less than what they were trying to rent that suite out to me for. I was like, all right, I'm here. I was like, I done signed these papers. I gotta do it now. I ain't got no choice but to go out here and be great. But that was it. That was what put the fire under my behind when she was like, you just gonna have to do it. She was like, just jump out here and do it. Basically tell me stop being fearful. Because I have a lot of, we as humans, we got a lot of self-doubt. Self-doubt holds us back from so much stuff. And I had to really just bite the bullet, after, you know, people talk to me that genuinely love and care about me and get out there and do it. And I'm so happy. Like, I am so, so happy that I did this because now I have something that a little piece of something that I can call my own that I plan on building on.
Man, I like how you said that, because people don't realize we overlook that, because we say fear. We say fear, we're scared, we don't want to hop out there. But we don't realize that self-doubt that's within us, that kills more dreams than anything outside of that fear. Like, self-doubt will have you sitting still. but you have to have that support system. And it sounds like you have a pretty amazing support system between husband, mentor. Now, I tell people all the time, if you don't have a mentor, go get a mentor. You need a mentor for every aspect of your life. You need a mentor for your finances. You need a mentor for your spiritual. You need a mentor for your leadership. Like, you need mentors for everything. Find those people that are doing and moving the same way you want to go. Latch on, teach them, and don't forget, when your time comes to pay that back. But I like how you said you're going to wait 6 to 12 months. Of course, you were going to be practicing and refining those techniques, but that's 6 to 12 months. But when it's God's time and you can't hold off on anything, like you can't wait, you can't, because what he has for you is for you and only you. And you're going to wait. And you ended up not just getting a space, you got a space that was cheaper and bigger than what was already out there, that would most likely have been gone if you would have waited 6 to 12 months, because that's self-doubt.
Yep. You're absolutely right. And I was like, it ain't nothing but God at this point, because I actually sat down after my husband and we did the numbers. And my husband's a big numbers person. I call him our financial guru. My husband's into the stocks and everything. So, he's the financial guru. He gives me the money. I pay the bills. Everything else is on him. He's a numbers person. So we sat down. We looked. They gave me like a little demo contract from the first suite place that I was going to. So we looked at it, and he was like, "This is kind of steep." We called the lady. So it's 3 of us talking. We trying to get details, and he was like, "Yeah, we gonna look into somewhere else." I got discouraged at that moment, and then I ended up. I went to bed, and I said, "Well, God, if it's meant for me, it's meant for me. If not, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait it out." And the next day is when my mentor called me and told me, she said, "Call this place. They got a suite available. See what she's talking about." Called her. Good news. Ran the numbers with my husband. We went up there the following day and got my key.
Man, so you're sitting over there discouraged.
Yep.
It's funny you say that, because I can't even think of the name of the songwriter right now, but I remember that growing up, that song, just be encouraged no matter what's going on. You make it all right. Just got to be strong. You got to hold on. Like, that song just is flooding my head. If nobody knows me, I operate in music and movies. Like, everything I hear translates. and that's all I hear, because like you said, you didn't just let it keep you going. I'm going to bed. It's out of my hands. And I tell people all the time, I see so many people do it. It makes me sad. We pray about stuff. We ask for blessings, and then we try to hold on to them. And it's like, that's not how it works. You got to let it go. You can't catch your blessings if your hands are closed, because you're closed holding on to stuff. But you went to bed, and then before you knew it, you had the keys in your hands. Yes. Can you tell us, because most people don't know what this feels like. Most people we're working towards stuff. We're out there. We're trying to be better. We're trying to be that business owner. You've done everything. You've been practicing. You got the certifications. You refined your techniques. Tell us that moment that you get those keys put in your hand. What does that feel like? What is that rush of emotions? What are your thoughts? What's going on? Like, what is encompassed? What is that moment?
It was a lot. I had a lot of thoughts. It was some more fear. It was excitement. I actually, when that woman walked away, that on suites, I actually stood outside with my husband, and I cried because I had my key. I was that emotional, and we was like, we did it. We were like, we did it. We ain't rich, but I tell you what, we gonna be on our way. But I cried. I cried when I got my key. I was just so, you know, just I can't even really put into words, but it was very emotional that day. It was very, very, very emotional. It, man, it, it was a great moment. was a great.
So it's funny you say that because I love it because I've experienced those emotions. I've experienced them myself. I experienced them with my wife. I walk like we, but I want everybody to catch everything that you're saying. We started off nails, refining techniques, 3 months, certifications, the self doubt, but overcoming your fears, having those support system, having that why, that legacy. All that came back around to you. And I want people to realize that, just like Angela, the key is you. You are the key. It's already in us. We just have to let it out. And when you let it out, that key is going to give you another key and another key and another key. That key that they gave you, that she gave you, that was a physical representation of a building. But then guess what? That building leads to another key, that new house, that another key, that new car, that another key, passing on stuff to your kids. We are the key. But if we don't unlock our gifts inside of us, we can never live in our purpose. And yeah, you have the keys based off of your purpose. Your husband had his keys that helped get to where you are. Your mentor had their keys, help you get to where you are. You have the keys now, driving the car, opening the doors for your kids behind you. So now I want to know, now that you have these keys to this physical building, this big building, because you know you're in Texas, everything big in Texas. Now that you have these big keys to this big building, what's the next step? I'm asking these questions because somebody out there is thinking, and they're scared, they're afraid. I'm trying to walk them through these steps, through your gifts, your purpose, to get so they can understand. People go through this. Like we see on social media, we don't hear about it until they already are successful, but right. We don't know the small successes that are inside the big success. So I want to know, now that you have that key, what's the next step?
Marketing, getting yourself out there. I have literally been breathing, sleeping, eating. That's my book site. Um, I went over with my coordinator. She called me from my booking site and she was like, let's get you out there. I'm actually first on the page for nail tech in this area.
Ooh.
I'm the only nail tech over in all these suites. So they've been looking for a nail tech. People come in looking for a nail tech. So I'm just gonna be sitting pretty waiting. And it's patience. Like it's gonna be days you're gonna be sitting off in that suite, just like you're sitting off in class and you're bored, you don't have a client. But I'm gonna wait, see what money walk through the door, who I can make a long-term client. It's you gotta market yourself. You gotta wait. You gotta be patient. Patience was not always one of my strong suit, little areas, so to say. But the older I get a little bit more patient. I got a 7-year-old still running around here, and I got a 14-year-old. I ain't got no choice but to try to be patient. So, just pretty much patience, waiting on that moment, and marketing yourself. Just because you get the keys in your hand, don't expect everything to just automatically come into you. You got to get out there and do the footwork and put your name out there. Like, I go to a drive-through, I'm all like this. It have to be like that. They like, ooh, who did your nails? Like if I wear something like crazy long, it attracts the younger people. And they're like, oh, who did your nails? I'm like, yours truly. I was like, and this me. Next move, I'm in the bag. I got business cards. And I'm in cards. And then I get to, oh my God, your cards feel so nice. So, I upgraded to the expensive cards because it's all about, you have to play on your audience. You got to be aesthetically pleasing to make them feel good, talk to them in a nice way, and you're guaranteed to grow. And I've learned that just by being personable with people. And I'm a major introvert. It make me or break me if you come to an appointment and you don't say nothing more than hi. Because I'm doing your nails. but I'm gonna still give you that customer service. But when I'm trying to get clients, I am an extrovert. I'm loud. Yep, my Instagram, my business card. Here's my number. Hit me up. I'm trying to bring in whatever I can. You got to get out there and market yourself. That's the only way you're going to get clientele. Like, I was like, man, at first I was letting pride get in my way.
Yeah.
Facebook. I'm like a I'm like a beggar in these groups. So my name is Angela. I'm a new nail tech. I'm licensed. I put my license up there. Blew out my number. I don't want nobody stealing that. And I show, and my Instagram following has went up tremendously. I recently got monetized, and
Wow.
you know, from that, I've grown at least 25 in a week
Oh wow.
just off of that one post that I made on Facebook. And I'm like, man, okay, come get in my chair. Let me really show you what I'm about. You got to get out there and do the footwork and market yourself. You got to show off your brand too. That's why I keep my nails done, to show off what I do. I let people feel them and everything. Not going home and sanitize, but you know, I'm like, hey, this is what you're gonna get. This is the quality of work you're gonna get. You're not gonna get top shop job
Yep.
when you see me, because I'm different than your typical nail techs out there. And if we got a little time, I educate you how nails came to be, and how the Vietnamese actually uh, run the nail.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're not going. Don't stop there. No, go ahead and go into that. No, because I tell people all the time, like we gotta take back something. Like you said, you're the only one in that area. Like, no, don't stop there. Go into that. Tell us what that is.
Okay, so basically, we have theory in class, and we learned a little gist of it, that nails go back as far as the ancient periods, the Shang dynasty, Egypt, royalty only typically, wore nails, and they will only wear colors of gold, silver, and red, because they were the only ones that could afford it. Then you got up to, like, in the 50s,
Hmm.
where nails really became popular. There was one white actress. She just randomly employed a Vietnamese woman. They put this woman through school, taught her to be a manicurist. She and Tail brought her family from Vietnam, trained up all her family. They put all her family through school, and they had them open up salons. That is how Vietnamese people run the nail game in America.
Wow.
That is how they dominate the nail game, because they were literally put on. They were literally given a platform. Not a white person, not a black person, a Vietnamese person.
Wow.
They that is why you see so many of them dominate the nail world. But now, as we're in 20, I would say probably maybe 2018, you start to see more of your black nail techs, your Latino nail techs, more your white nail techs, because nails are changing. Yes, nails are more expensive, but nails are now having a better quality.
Yep.
The way the Vietnamese do nails, chop, shop, quick, they want your dollar.
Yep.
You're gonna get something done. You probably are not gonna like the design. It's not gonna be detailed, but you're gonna pay a nice little penny for it.
Yep.
But they're not giving you quality work. and it's designed like that so they keep in their chair. If
Coming back. That makes that makes so much sense, and I'm glad you shared that point because most people I didn't even know that. Like a lot of us don't know that because we just you hear so much like oh that community no disrespect to no communities, but it's like that community has this lock on lock. Like it's no different than like the hair community. Like when you go get hair or something, it's like oh this community has it like where's the ownership? Like we see white communities, they have their stuff, and you're like, well, blacks, where's our community? And you're starting that, like you said, building that legacy.
right,
And one of the things I love when you're sitting out, like same with the you said the white family, and they sent the Vietnamese to school, and now it's taking over. Now you're here, and you have this setup, like, hey, I'm the only one here, and I'm finna do this legacy. But you have to market yourself. I might be an introvert, but I gotta be an extrovert. I'm showing my nails. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. You're marketing yourself. But is there a line in there where you're not just marketing yourself, you're teaching others the marketing, you're showing others the way? Like I know this is one way, being on here is teaching one way, but are those ways out there? How do you market yourself when you're not somebody that's like used to being a marketer? Obviously, like an introvert.
oh man, basically learn from my mentor. She pushes me a lot. She markets me a lot. To be totally honest, I gotten a lot of like marketing and clients from. It's more of a word of mouth.
Okay.
Like once she puts my name out there to somebody, they come and see, and they're like, all right. Then she's like, I got somebody else. They saw such and such as nails, and they want you to do. I'm like, okay. I was like, I ain't doing nothing. I'm available. You know, and it's that word of mouth. Word of mouth is going to get you so far. It takes one person to spread a rumor.
Yeah.
Word nothing but a fancy rumor. A good one though. A good rumor. Because you want to keep that positive energy. You want your name in somebody's mouth in a positive way. Because who wants negative? You do somebody else bad. They get one bad review. That's going they're gonna tell seven other people about that. And we learned that. Market yourself. Word of mouth. Do good. Get out there. Show your skill. That's the way I do it. I have, luckily her working on my behalf. My husband, he'll be like, yeah, my wife do nails. And I'll be sitting over in the truck. I'm like, I'm just trying to get my food. But I guess you know, I'm gonna take part in this opportunity. You know, anytime an opportunity not I might be in La La Land at the time, and somebody's looking at my nails, and I'm so blissfully unaware because I'm looking at something, and he's like, "Yeah, my wife do nails." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I do." Want to, you know, but yes, that's how. I mean, that's how I pretty much market myself. Most definitely.
Okay, I got a good one. I got a good one because you said that word of mouth. You said your mentor word of mouth. You got people whose nails you done word of mouth, and then I heard you say your husband like he was like, yeah, my wife does nails, and you remember you said you're sitting off in that big nice building now, and you're waiting for these clients to come in because those are going to be the people that spread this word of mouth because you not took the time to build this technique. You not took the time to do the certification. You put those 3 months in going dedicated hard. It's like Kobe said, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. You was the one for 3 months refining these skills on YouTube University, learning all this different stuff to get that one person in the chair to spread this word of mouth. But I have to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
when you think about it, because remember, you said when you did that first one, you were like, ooh, this is horrible. When you think back, when you said, I want to do nails, who was that first client that said, oh, okay, I'm gonna let you take a chance with my hands? Who was that first client that was brave enough to say, you can do it, and then I'm gonna go spread the word of mouth if you do a good job? Who was that first person?
My first ever client was my neighbor when we were staying in Nebraska. And that's how I ended up in the nail tech on the military base.
Oh
The
wow.
So here, my first client, my first, I would say my first genuine client was a lady that works in this store where all the law enforcement go and get their uniforms from. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm simple. I like an acrylic overlay." She's like, "Oh, you stay near me." So people always, that location is key to a lot of people because Texas is so big and we have to drive so far. She was like, "Okay, yeah, I'm coming." I did her nails, and she's like, "Oh my God, you got my middle finger straight. My always used to have it crooked." And I'm like, yeah, I was like, all I did was just directed a little acrylic that way to have the illusion that your finger is straight, you know. And she was like, "Yeah, I'll be back." And from that point on, rocking with me. I'm trying to see what she gonna get New Year's. She better let me know.
So you say you trying to see what she gonna get New Year's now. Now I got a question because you said she gonna see what she get New Year's. Because
Mhm.
obviously we know this is part of self-care.
Yes.
How many people are, I wouldn't even say people, how many would you say would say not just for the New Year's, but like though, because we gotta be good going to that new year. Remember, feel good, look good, do good. You
Oh,
and in the 2023 straight, you gonna be good. And part of that is self-care. And it
yeah,
ain't just for ladies, it's for men too.
right.
So when you're thinking about people that are saying, hey, Christmas is coming up. I don't know what to get this love of my life. I know you're in Austin. We're gonna let you share this in Austin, but there's people all around the United States, the world, everywhere, and they're stuck like, what do I get? How many people are, how would you recommend somebody say, hey, you might want to go get your nails done?
I'm like, hey, you might want to go get a pedicure. You might want to get a manicure. Relax yourself. We as people, we don't take out time to actually sit down and relax.
No.
We don't do it. And it can also be like a little bonding time. When my husband and I used to go to, the nail salon together before I, did school and everything, getting a pedicure together, that was our bonding time. We would sit there, sip our mimosas because they serve alcohol. Little drunk. I ain't no alcoholic now. But and that was our bonding time, you know, relax. I look over my husband, he either doing pics, for his
Yeah.
little ball team, or he's sleep. And he's totally relaxed. After that, you feel good because you people don't realize how important self care is, especially your feet. Your feet are your foundation. They Your feet carry you every day. You know how it is when your feet hurt. You
Yep.
your feet have so many different spots to relieve different ailments with you, stomach problems, circulation, all in the soles of your feet, your solar plexus. People don't realize that. Even your hands are important. You touching things all day. Your sense of touch, relaxing your hands, easing, some of that arthritis that people are catching later on. Just, a hand massage. Get your
Yep.
you don't feel better. Like looking down at your hands, and I know a lot of men they walk around, they like, "Oh, I don't care. Hands, raggedy hangnails, hurt when she strip them down." But you look at your hands, you're like, "Man, I feel good." And other people, like, I don't think people realize that other people are looking at you as well. They're, especially a woman, especially if you out there in the dating world, they analyzing everything.
Yep.
You should want to have better self care. Most definitely, holidays. You do all kind of specials. Get your pumpkin spice. Everybody love pumpkin spice. You'll get your good massage in. Just relieve some of that stress. Like, having a pedicure and a manicure is a stress reliever. When I tell you, if you have not experienced it, do it. You're gonna feel like a new man, and I guarantee it's probably gonna be something that you turn to a lot. You're probably gonna be sneaking off. Right? He's done it before.
So you say it's a stress reliever.
Yes.
And that so many people need to go do it, but it's so many people that don't, for one, don't know where to begin, know where to start. So for somebody like you said, your followings grew and they need to know where to look, where to go. I want to start with you. How would somebody be able to get in touch with you so that they can start their self-care journey by coming to you? How would they get in touch with you?
There are a plethora of ways to get in touch with me, but more so my IG. I go by Southern Comfort Glam on Instagram. If you want to book with me, my booking link is in my description. There's also a book now button on my profile. If you have trouble and you are not tech savvy to go to IG, you can also send me an email at southerncomfortglam@gmail.com. I check my email frequently because I am a kind of OCD person, and I'm always looking for opportunities. So I will be in there checking frequently, and I can also guide you through the booking process because I do use a booking app in order to take clients. So those are two ways you can get in contact with me.
Now I don't want everybody to be alarmed. If you didn't get that, I will put all that information in the description on YouTube. Like you don't, if you ain't on this YouTube, strategic dope. Go like, subscribe, comment, share, because we want to get this message out there. But I will put this information out there. Now I have to ask. I have to ask because I do this to everybody. Now, I want to know, we all want to know, for that person that might be, as you were, might be guided in the wrong direction, might
Mhm.
be having that fear, might not be feeling motivated, don't know their why to be dedicated for months on end, or how to transform and stick to developing their craft. What is that one phrase, or what is that piece of advice that you would give them to help them overcome so that they can unlock them keys inside of themselves so that they can get the keys towards their dream? What's that bit of information or advice, mentorship that you would give?
Keep pushing. Ignore all that noise because as long as you live and you walk God's green earth, it's always going to be some type of obstacle in your way. Ignore it. Go over it. That's background noise. Leave it in the past. Even if you go to school, you're gonna have catty female stuff. Ignore it. Put it in your rearview mirror. Focus on yourself because right now this is yourself. This is your business. Buckle down. Get tunnel vision. Don't see nothing else around you. Straight tunnel vision until you get to the finish line. And even into starting your business, still keep some tunnel vision.
Ooh, I love that. All I heard when you said that was dream big, focus small. Keep that tunnel vision. Don't worry about. I'm not even touching that because man, that was a nugget. That's your nugget for the day. Now I have to say, because for on behalf of everyone, for one, I have to say thank you for even coming on, sharing this knowledge. I've learned so much from just where the origination of nails come from, the different things that it takes. Because I thought cosmetology was just it. I've learned so much, and I know everybody else has as well. So for one, we want to thank you for that. We want to give you your flowers, your self care while you're still here. We appreciate you for that. On another note, I know we got to have you come back on because I got to hear about everything. We gonna want to know what's going on with these opening doors. We want to know about these blessings that's coming down and raining that you catching with these nice manicured hands. We definitely gonna have to come back, bring you back on for that. But we wanted to just say thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing, taking your time out of your busy schedule to blessing us with that knowledge. We appreciate that.
No, thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it. Anytime I get an opportunity to speak and hopefully help somebody that is on their journey, I'm here for it. I would love to become an educator. That was one thing I said I wanted to do so that women or men, whoever wants to, get into that field, gets that adequate amount of education and mentoring that they need to, coming from the source of a person that's out here in the field, because everybody needs some guidance. You gotta have guidance in order to achieve, because we all start off crawling. Nobody
Yeah,
goes no running.
man, you're right. We all started off crawling in. I don't know what it's gonna be. I'm gonna figure out some things because hey, I got some things kicking my head that based off some stuff you just said. That's something that me and you gonna talk about because
Right?
now my mind's all over the place. So I'm not even gonna dive into that. But again, I want to say thank you for coming on because I know you finna have some amazing things coming, especially that education piece. We're gonna talk about that. But don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Stay with me because I want to talk to you in just a few minutes. But again, thank you, thank you, thank you. You've been amazing. We love what you're doing. We wish nothing but success on you. But until next time, Angela, I'll see you on the other side.
All right.
Man, I hope you all got something out of that. For one thing, you should have got, like we said, right around the corner. Got a couple days till Christmas. Go get that package. Go get somebody that self-care that they need. Show your self-love by giving self-care, especially going into this new year because, hey, 2023 is all about knocking down doors, overcoming obstacles, as Angela said, so we can go get those blessings and go get our dreams, operating our purpose, doing the things that we were designed to do. Because, hey, you heard it from her. Time to eliminate that background noise. And one way to do that is to start taking care of yourself through self-care. Man, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I know I did. I learned so much. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hey, we will be back same time next week. Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. So don't forget, mark your calendar because, hey, who knows who the amazing next guest is going to be. But until then, I want you to always continue to live in your purpose, with purpose, on purpose. I hope everybody has a blessed and safe holiday. Merry Christmas to all of y'all. And I love y'all. I'll see y'all next week.
I'm back.
Every time I walk out that door, every time I interact with anybody new, my purpose is to help change.
It's time to celebrate life. If you know that you're in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know you want better for your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you have what it takes to be in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you are not just trying to be good for you, but for those around you, it's time to stand up. As a matter of fact, look to the person to your left and tell them you are enough.
I want to help you change, and just like you change, every time I interact with somebody, they help me change. It's no different than if I met an individual and they had 4 quarters and they needed change, or if I had $1 and they had 4 quarters, I need to change. We can swap the money. The value is still the same. They still got $1, I still got $1, but we both exchanged something, and it was a change for both of us. So every time I walk out that door, I inspire to help change lives just as much as lives have changed me.
Y'all been listening to the wrong people, watching the wrong things all your life, and it's time to put to rest all those negative thoughts because you are enough. It's time to put to rest that self-doubt because you are enough. It is time to get rid of that negative energy because you are enough. It is time to stop listening to people that don't have the best interests of you in your life because you are enough. So let's have a moment of silence. I want everybody to understand that you are the person that's in charge of your life. Everything that you have inside of you to be who you're supposed to be in life. You have a destiny, and that destiny can only be accomplished through you, by you, and only you with the help of God. When you realize that you are the person you are, because you're not a carbon copy, there's only one you. They try to put you in a box. Society tries to put you in a box, but you can't be in a box. How can you be in a box when there's only one you? But then they tell you, think outside the box. What I'm trying to get you to understand is there is no box.
I want to pass on the things that I have to the generations behind me. By the time it's time for me to get called home and go to the grave, I want to be empty. I believe in bankrupting the cemetery, so I can't take this knowledge with me because the cemetery is already full of brilliant ideas and unwritten books and innovative ideas. I can't take this with me, so I'm trying to leave it all here as Billy Graham Jr. to the next generation so somebody else can carry it on.